welcome back for episode 11 of RV Life, What I Eat in a Week. If this is your first time joining me, then ow, damn it, Jack. Sorry, didn't mean to curse so soon in the video. Thank you so much for joining me, and Jack, apparently. Um, we are so happy to have you. If this is your first time, thank you so much for joining us. For those of you who have been here before, welcome back. So happy to have you for another week of What I Eat. So, with this being the Christmas week edition, I am just going to go a little offhand here and just talk about my life, okay? So, my eldest sister actually died 5 days before Christmas, back when I was, like a sophomore in high school, if not early junior year. So the holidays are not my favorite. Like, I love giving gifts because I get really into it. I do themes and whatnot. I obviously enjoy the food. Not to say that we can't make these things outside of the holiday, but they're typically made for holidays. So I just soak all that up, right? But I was feeling really down on top of the fact that I ended up with my usual seasonal cold. I don't know about most people, but I seem to suffer from strep throat twice a year. It actually used to be way more when I was younger, back when I still had tonsils and adenoids, but both of those things were removed. So now I can tell that I have like a version of strep throat because I'll get a very intense pain on my throat. Today, well, currently, it's just on the one side, but boy, is it uncomfortable. So it is actually why I have not done a voiceover, on top of the fact that I was going through my seasonal depression and remembering that my eldest sister is not with me, and then just thinking about life. Life be hard sometimes, you know? So, I know it already kind of skipped over a lot of this, but I also wasn't in very much of like a cooking mood, so there wasn't a lot of me filming actual like making of the food. Y'all are lucky I remembered to take the photographs, to be honest. But I needed my content, so had to make sure I did that, right? So at this point, we are at my sister's house. My mom made this succulent roast beef, sauteed. I can't remember if this was kale or collard greens, with peppers and onion. My sister's father took the majority of those sauteed portobellos. Thankfully, I was the second person to grab my plate because I would have been so mad that I didn't get my mushrooms. I love me some mushrooms, right? So I ate very hearty for Christmas. It was actually kind of nice because my mom asked like for a vote, like what did we want to eat for Christmas Day, because she didn't really know what to make. So we all voted for roast beef. We didn't have mac and cheese at Thanksgiving, so that got voted in. And it is not a holiday without our deviled eggs. So I was aghast. I thought I trusted her. I thought they were in the fridge when we were doing Thanksgiving setup, only for everything to be on the table. And I'm like, where's my mama? Where's my deviled eggs? There's no, you didn't make any? Why didn't you tell me? I would have thrown some eggs on the stove. Like, oh, I was devastated. So there were some very much non-negotiable side dishes that my mom had to make, and by the time she was done cooking, which was 2 hours after her, well, no, 2.5 hours after her scheduled time. She never makes the time that she's aiming for, by the way. So she was kind of hangry at that point. I was pretty fed up because it was not very much of a social gathering. Everyone was off doing their own thing. You can see me sneezing or coughing here or whatever. So I didn't really feel like interacting with anybody. Nobody was trying to interact with each other. Really, my sister's dad was watching football and smoking a cigarette, so he was in and out of the house every 5 minutes. My sister was somewhere, I don't know, cleaning, doing something, and I do not like my sister's boyfriend, so didn't really have any kind of interaction with him except at the dinner table, which at that point I was ready to fight, okay? So I had to force myself to shut up and then just dig into my meal, right? So I made a very hearty plate, made sure to grab some leftovers, brought that home. So another reason why there wasn't a lot of me cooking was because of the fact I had so many leftovers. So this is when I am finally making food, because I had already eaten my leftovers at least like one time and I still had another half left over. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to eat that right now. So I took out my shredded cabbage. This was actually the last bit of the cabbage that I already had. I shredded it in advance just so I wouldn't have to worry about it later. And I am making just a really quick cabbage salad. There was a sandwich earlier on in the video where I did a cabbage râpé. Râpé. If you don't know what that is, it's mostly done with carrots, but I am not a conformist, okay? So I did it with cabbage because cabbage is what I had, and I wasn't about to go buy some carrots just to make a carrot râpé. Like, please, work with what you have, okay? So I I took cabbage with the, use your brain, Danae, the mustard that has the beads in it, stone ground mustard. Yes, probably still incorrect. But used that along with lemon juice, a little bit of vinegar, toss that up. I know that there's usually some other ingredients in there, but my brain cells are clearly not deciding to work right now. It has been a hectic day. By the way, today is the 30th of December. I hope you guys have some wonderful things planned for New Year's. I am trying to get all of my editing and voiceovers and whatnot done before tomorrow, because tomorrow is my friend's New Year gathering. It's me and my giant group of buddies. We go to Kava every week on Wednesdays. It's a blast. Love those human beings. So grateful to have them in my life. And we are doing a New Year's Eve dinner party slash what we're going to be drinking, okay? But we're doing that at one of their houses. That's what I made the pie for. Technically, I made the pie for Thanksgiving, but as you know from the video where the pie is featured, it did not cool in time, so I stuck it in the freezer. It is currently in the fridge defrosting so that I can take it for tomorrow's party. But I lost track of what I was going to say. I am trying to get everything done so that I can just focus on spending time with my friends, and that way when I come back first day of the new year, I can start working on episode 12, because I already started filming some meals. There we go. So that that could go into episode 12. Now, I did not realize this because my air fryer seemed to be working just fine at one point, because it defrosted my crab cakes and it got one half of them all nice and toasty. But for whatever reason, she no work no more. So I tried swapping the plugs out, tested my kettle. That seemed to work just fine. But the air fryer was like, no, me no want to fry today. So I wasted probably 25 minutes, at least half an hour, waiting for food in my air fryer that was not cooking, which was great. Loved that. Absolutely loved that for me. So I was literally sitting down, doing my editing, and I'm like, oh, I'm so hungry. I can't wait for this to be done. Only to get up and realize, oh, nothing seems to have changed in here. My fries are still cold. My crab cakes still seem half cooked. How interesting. Huh, don't know what happened there. So, you'll notice at some point that I am going to pull everything out of there and throw it into a frying pan, because girl, I ain't got time for that, okay? So I made a remoulade. Look at me saying it better this time. I don't remember if you recall my other voiceover where I struggled greatly to say that word. But here I am making a remoulade to go with these crab cakes. It is smoked paprika, some old blay. Jesus. Some Old Bay. I think there's might be some pepper in there. There's the horseradish mustard that I love. There's ketchup. There's sriracha, and there is mayo in there. Not that you could tell, because clearly my camera does not like anything with a white background. It looked like there was not a lick of mayonnaise in that little white container. I can't. I don't know what to do with my lighting situation in this little RV, but we'll figure it out as we go. All right. So I have my 2 crab cakes, my little cabbage salad situation, my Remlaw dipping sauce, so that I can use that for the crab cakes, and my French fries. The French fries are actually leftover potato wedges, which are delicious. I don't know if you are from the South, or actually, I don't even know how far this grocery chain travels now. Whatever. We have a Publix in my state, so I got my potato wedges from there while I was out shopping, and should have known better than to walk into the grocery store while hungry, so I ended up getting French fries, because I am a sucker for anything potatoes. Ugh. So I only ate half of the bag, saved the other half, and threw those in with my crab cakes, only for them to not cook at all. So with that said, I finally, by this day, I think this is like the 28th on this particular video. Might be the 27th. I really don't remember. But at that point, I was finally feeling up to the task of cooking, but I really didn't want to have to do a lot of work. So I just opened my freezer, looked at what I had in there, and went from there, right? As I mentioned, I was going through some seasonal depression and a cold. I still have some throat pain, but thankfully I am not coughing every 5 words that I speak. I just have brain fog, I guess. I don't know. I have spent the majority of my day running errands from one place to another and not finding what I needed. So I love to go to thrift shops, and the upside of that is my brother owns a house that he wants to Airbnb sometime in the foreseeable new year, and I am helping him with that. And while I'm doing that, I am living in his RV on his property, right? Now, my friends all know this, but y'all don't know this. So, hey, guess we're friends now, aren't we? Hi, friends. So, while I am poking around in different thrift shops and getting to know this new area, because he lives more north of where I had basically lived my entire life. So I'm getting to know the new area. There are so many thrift shops up here. I kid you not, I went to so many. I went to Habitat for Humanity. I went to Goodwill. I went to some place that is like a thrift shop that, I don't even know how to explain it. It has a hospital name attached to it, so I guess the proceeds go towards the hospital. I really don't know, but I went there. I ended up going to, I think it was another Goodwill, and all this just to see what I could find, because I'm trying to help stage his house for the eventual Airbnb-ing. The rental, I guess, would probably make more sense in that situation, but yeah, for renting. And so far, haven't really found anything that suits his taste, but boy, oh boy, when I tell you I find so many things in those stores that I'm just like, I wish you could come home with mama. My storage unit isn't big enough for that. One day, when I am just decorating people's houses and whatnot, I'm gonna be that person, that that decorator that has a giant storage unit full of furniture that has just been waiting to be placed somewhere, because the finish and the quality of half of the furniture that I saw, gorgeous. Just so sad that I couldn't buy it and didn't have anywhere to put it, which does make me sometimes question my absolute desire to buy a piece of property and build my tiny dream home on it, because I wouldn't be able to fit that furniture in my little tiny house. But I also don't want some big old house that I'm just going to get old in and have it turn into a hoarder nest that I can't keep clean, and it would just make me sad. And just, no, I wouldn't enjoy that. So at some point, I am hoping to do a video, or a video series, I guess would be more accurate, of what I'd like to call my past life. What I have lived through prior to getting into this RV, and precisely why I wouldn't want a genuine house, and why I went on about the whole hoarding thing. So anyway, look at me, finally finished my dish here with my 2 crab cakes, my french fries, my cabbage salad. Looks delicious. Now, I have been having so many questions about the tofu custard that I made for my pie. That pie is going with me for the New Year's party, so it should have some slices and some results shared by episode 12. A bunch of my friends, I showed them photos of it, and they're like, hey, how'd that turn out? Because it sounded really good, even though a lot of them were highly apprehensive about the whole, it being vegan. And the second people hear, oh, there's tofu in it, they just have this immediate desire to be like, no thanks, no tofu, no like. Right? Which I don't quite understand, because tofu, unless you're serving it exactly as is, which I have watched so many YouTubers that are in some Asian country of some sort. I love watching other food content creators, because one, it helps me learn how to make those things for myself at home, because I might not have the means to travel all the way to Thailand or Korea or Japan to eat authentic food. But I can try to make it as authentic as possible in my own home, right? So I actually love content creators like that. But I've only seen a few of them where they will take plain tofu and cut it into squares and drizzle it with soy sauce and call it a day. And I'm like, ugh, that's, no, I did try that. I was like, you know what? Don't knock it till you try it, Danae. No, I knocked it, okay? 100%, it needs other things. And to serve it basically cold or room temperature just with soy sauce, that's a cultural thing, and probably I don't want to say a learned behavior, that's not the word I'm looking for at all, acquired taste, yes, that. So for me, tofu needs seasoning and spices and sauces and things like that. It is such a great palette for absorbing a lot of flavors and components that you add to it. For the pie, if you remember, I used the silken tofu, so it's a great egg replacement. I still have the other half of that silken tofu in my fridge that I still need to do something with, so I might do that tomorrow as part of my breakfast. I guess, which again would most likely end up on episode 12, so stay tuned. So Jack is being absolutely adorable, and naturally had to show that off. It is so entertaining to me, and I say that with so much irony, that he gets all of his energy the second that I am in bed and all of the lights are off in the RV. Then I hear nothing but a ruckus of him just running around the entire RV, and when I wake up in the morning, there are 2 rugs that I have in the kitchen or living space I have to fix because he's flopped them over or skidded them across the room or something. I'm just happy he's happy. those are the two rugs I'm talking about. Like, I don't get it. I'm just happy he's not knocking things over. At first, I kind of thought that he would get on the counter and try to rub his face into the faucet or something, and that I would come home and find the water running all over the place. But my baby is a smart boy. He has not done that. My girl, on the other hand, who still has yet to join us, I don't know. She's she's bless her sweet little heart. She's just darling. She really is. Love her to bits and pieces. But I think she would be the one that. Why am I country? Stop it. I think that she would be the one to do that, to try and nuzzle her face into anything and everything, and probably turn on the sink. And considering that neither one of them in their lifetime up until this point has had access to a bathroom or a faucet or anything like that, or in a kitchen, I was very concerned that I would be trying to cook and my cat or cats would be jumping up onto the counter in the way. Thankfully, have not had that happen, because like I said, the boy is very smart. I do not know I do not know so much about my baby girl, but she is still not with me at this point. She is still in the care of her other caretaker, who keeps saying that they're gonna have to probably give her up. Oh my goodness. I am such a klutz. I really am. I realize it as I'm filming all the time, and I'm just like, wow, Danae, do you not have grip strength? Like, what is going on? Do I need to get that little walnut finger cruncher? I'm sure it has a name, but that's its name for right now, because legitimately the amount of things that I drop or fling, you guys should have noticed this in like every episode. I don't know if it's gotten to it yet, because I haven't been paying attention to the screen, not gonna lie, but there is a smoothie. Oh god, my throat. There is a smoothie that I end up making where I add my hemp seeds and hemp seeds and chia seeds. There we go. And shortly after I turned the camera off, not only did I knock over the entire container, but the chia seeds and hemp seeds that I just put in there scattered to the wind. It was great. Loved that. Clearly, I put too much in there, and that was the universe's way of telling me, you had too much. Let's take some of that out of there, right? So, as I've already mentioned, I am still battling this cold. I have soreness on the right side of my throat, and still occasionally sneezing or sniffling. So at this point, I am making a ginger tea. I think I put a pomegranate green tea bag in there because I didn't want it to be just plain ginger and lemon. But highly rejuvenating. I did also put some of the Korean chili powder in there. Probably should have done more because I felt the tingle, but I feel like it should have been more, but I played it safe, so it is what it is. This is the pineapple upside down cake, which I guess my mom didn't have the cherries for. Doesn't matter, it's fine. Cherries are my favorite fruit, so I was a little sad, but the cake was delicious, and I balanced that with my spicy ginger tea because my throat clearly needed it, and I just was in the mood for sweets. Do you know I have an entire bag of chocolate in my fridge, and I have more chocolate than I did before because for whatever reason, for Christmas, multiple people decided to give me chocolate. Is it like... Did I miss what occasion this is? Is it Valentine's Day? One of my best friends gave, me and our entire friend group chocolates. So, it not complaining. And we got booze. That was quite nice. Thank you, Sam. But then I also ended up getting this little 6-pack of hot chocolate. Oh, there's my baby girl. So that's Pipsqueak Eleanor von Shittingtons the third. She gets the third from her father, and Jackass gets his name from me, but I kept the last names off of that. Their names are already fairly long, so it's unnecessary to add that little extra bit. But I did get to see her for Christmas Day because I dropped off some food, some Christmas food for her caretaker, spent a little time together. My poor girl is still fighting off fleas because the place where she lives is we'll skip over that for now. But point is, she has a flea collar on, and the treatment is still kicking in. So I had to make sure that I was very careful with the clothes that I brought home because I did not want to end up with a flea infestation in this little RV. So thankfully, haven't had any issues with that. Jack has not had any scratching or craziness. He has been enjoying his bunny watching and his squirrel viewing, and he's kind of getting on my nerves a bit with the blinds on these windows, because 100%, if I don't leave them open, he will like maul them with his face, and I'll come home or I'll wake up in the morning and find that they are all messed up, and then I have to fix them and then open them. So I have to make sure that I leave certain ones open just so he can, not do that. So this should be the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching, and of course for listening. Sorry that I didn't walk you through my process. Just wanted to talk about where my head's at, how my week was, and of course wish you guys a beautiful new year. It is 2025. That's my little festive look for Christmas, and that's my face. Oh my goodness. So again, thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.